morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever time it is, wherever you are. Welcome to Living Truthfully, episode 57. And this is home recording, home edition, self-isolation, self-quarantine edition. I don't know what you're going through, but Yanni, I hope you're staying home and staying safe. I hope you're taking good care of yourself and washing your hands more than usual. I feel like my fingerprints are about to kwisha because of just the amount of hand washing that I've done. So obviously I'm at home. I've borrowed a device to help me record at home. Shout out to Gabantu at iGabantu Studios for giving me his Rodecaster Pro that has allowed me to record at home. And also shout out to my brother Gift. He made me do this shout out because he's he brought me a cable. He brought me a cable that allows me to record. So I'm gonna try and do some some random podcasts while we're at home. I'm gonna call a few friends and see how guys are doing. And I wanna start with the first phone call today. The first phone call is gonna be with my boy Fareed. So I'm really testing out a system that I've never tried before. So just bear with me while I make this call and let's see how it goes. So I'm dialing Fareed Khimani. He's just finished doing his show on Capital FM. So let's see how this goes. Let's see. Just hold on.
Oh.
Hey Fareed.
Hey.
How you doing, man?
Good, bro. And you?
I'm very good. Is this a good time to talk?
Yeah, sure.
Fantastic. How's your show, man?
Good. It's a really nice to be the one with the giving the information and also trying to make people smile every morning, you know?
Yeah. You have such a good responsibility. You're an essential service, bro.
It is essential. Yeah, we actually had that directive from State House yesterday that media would be essential.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to our news team. Yeah, because they were trying to figure out if the morning show and the afternoon show were essential, but our news editor told them, but that needs to happen for news to happen. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. Welcome to Living Truth with the podcast. I'm finally recording from home, man.
That's great. I saw your setup. It looks wonderful.
Yeah, I was able to borrow some equipment that allows me to record from home, and it's a really nice piece of equipment here, man.
Great.
So I was just checking in on you, bro. I just want to find out how you doing. How are you taking all this COVID story, man?
Yeah, it's tough. I think I've spent the last 2 years preparing myself for something like this.
Yeah.
With dealing with things like mental health and addiction, and then this happens. I've actually had someone tell me that really truthfully, a friend of mine called Nafisa. She said to me yesterday, she goes, "I just need to tell you that the way you've handled the last 2 years has been so inspiring." So that she actually said that she feels that she can be better by seeing the way I've handled the last 2 years. And I'm not even really thinking of it on that level. It's just kind of what I had to do. And, I'm actually fine. The only downside for me is my Alcoholics Anonymous meetings were canceled, obviously.
Oh, wow.
So I tried to do a Zoom meeting yesterday, and I absolutely hated it.
It's not the same, is it?
No, you don't have that human connection. It was a global meeting. I found one. I think it's 9 a.m. California time, which is around 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. here. But I just couldn't get into it, so I disconnected. But I'll keep trying. My sponsor will, providing there's no lockdown, he'll come home on Friday. So I'm having interaction in those capacities as well. And my therapist is still available if I need. But like I said, I think the last 2 years has really prepared me for. I don't know how I would have handled it if it happened 3 years ago. You know what I mean?
For the sake of my listeners, some of them might not know what your story is.
Sure.
So there's this reference for the last 2 years. Tell me about those last 2 years, bro. Just in a nutshell, what happened?
Yeah, so I went to drug and alcohol rehabilitation in 2018 on March the 1st.
Okay.
So you're talking really just about 2 years ago, not just over 2 years ago.
Almost just exactly 2 years, huh?
Yeah. And I've had my journey's been, the first year and a half was full of ups and downs. I relapsed a couple of times. But I felt like that was all part of what needed to happen. Through rehab, I realized that there was some underlying mental health issues. Alcohol is only a symptom of a bigger problem, or drug use is only a symptom of a bigger problem. The bigger problem is usually what causes you to have to try and mask up those feelings and that pain by using substances. So over the last 2 years, I've kind of dealt with the mental health side of things as well. And then obviously now become a bit of an advocate for mental health with men, because I was also raised in quite a tough upbringing where, if you had emotions, if you felt sad, you were told to get some fresh air or told to, shake it off. And the last sort of 4 or 5 months has been a real eye-opener for me. I had quite a big spiritual awakening in the last, 4 months, where everything kind of just made sense. And I could see things a bit more clearly. The obsession to use drugs and alcohol has been lifted as well. And the authentic self has finally come out, and with that, a new set of, an old set of values, but a set of values that I follow, which is, honesty, truth, being a good husband, being a good father, being a good son, being empathetic, being authentic, being loyal. These are things that I'd forgotten about over the last 30 years because I was so consumed by a need to get high. But the way I feel when I wake up in the morning, there's never been drugs or alcohol that made me feel that high as how I feel every morning now. Well, not every morning, obviously, but most mornings.
Dude,
so that's kind of the wrap up in a nutshell,
Dude, just for being able to beat, to work on yourself and to be able to get to this place, you deserve a round of applause. I'm about to give you one. Hold on. There you go. There you go. That's a round of applause for my boy Fareed. Well done. Well done. Well done.
Thank you, Khimani. Thanks.
So, bro, I'm wondering.
Yeah.
There must be guys right now who are, where you were 2 years ago,
Sure.
And then, they've been able to find escape by going to the bar, which they can't do anymore. They've been able to find escape by, maybe going to work and just filling in their days, and now they're at home, and maybe facing the reason that they are, going to drugs and alcohol in the first place. If you were in a state like that now, what would you tell somebody who's just out there trying to figure out how to make life work?
Yeah, it's a tough one, I mean, I think, it's a process people have to go through. And like I said, if I hadn't prepared myself, inadvertently for this situation over the last 2 years, I'm not sure how I would have coped. There's a fine line between being alone in your own company and isolation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's tough, especially with mental health issues. They say the worst thing you can do is isolate.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we're forced to do that. So what do? Listen, we all have access to mobile phones. I think the biggest problem with addicts, the biggest problem with people with mental health, especially with men, is that we're afraid to ask for help. Something that I have only changed within the last 6 months of my life.
Yeah.
And I think it's prudent and it's vital that if you're in a situation where you feel alone, where you feel isolated, I think just pick up a phone and ask for help. You know what I mean? Just call, somebody, and you'll be surprised at how many people are willing to help.
That's true. That's true.
Our biggest fear is if I call for help, I'll show weakness. If I call someone to ask someone for help, then they'll say no. I don't think so. Listen, I'm happy here on this podcast, Khimani. I'm sure you get a lot of requests. If you feel someone really needs someone to talk to, feel free to give them my phone number, and I really truly mean that.
Wow.
And I'd be happy to talk to you because I've been there. And like I said, if this was a few years ago when I was put in this situation, I probably my essentials wouldn't have been rice milk, but it probably would have been a rope, to be perfectly honest with you.
Wow. Dude, that's such a big offer. Thank you so much for doing it. I really, really applaud you for it, man.
Of course,
and that's the truth for me as well. I've always told my listeners, if you ever need help, call me. Reach out to me on social media at Amani Maranga. What are your handles, Fareed?
Sure. So on Instagram, it's Fareed Diamond Khimani.
Yes.
And on Twitter, it's Fareed Khimani.
Where did the name Diamond come from, man?
It actually was my dad's name. Dad's first name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I was sure you were about to start singing in Swahili, man. Like
no. So during his time, the Diamond Jubilee. So we're Ismaili Muslim, and the Diamond Jubilee of the previous Aga Khan was the state year my dad was born.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
So I think it was the 50th anniversary of that Aga Khan being the Aga Khan.
Yeah.
Was the same year my dad was born, and therefore if you ever meet a Ismaili person named Diamond, they would be the exact same age my dad would be now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. So tell me,
Yeah.
are you apart from working,
Mm.
which obviously you have to go to the studio every morning? What are you doing to self quarantine? How are you keeping yourself busy during the self quarantine period?
Well, I'm basically home. We have a really nice apartment complex with a number of really great people, a lot of creatives as well. I live. My direct neighbor is Anne McCreeth from Kiko Romeo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and a couple of other guys that I've. We're getting a lot closer now. There's a pool area, which is quite a big area. There's a home gym. So we're kind of with using social distance. We're kind of meeting outside in the garden every day, having a chat. Unfortunately for me, this is very difficult for me, Amani. My mom is obviously in stage 4 cancer, so her oncologist has told me that because I'm exposed every morning at the radio station, I can't see her right now.
Oh,
So that's a bit of a challenge for me as well, because I mean the chances that I could infect her, and of course with her age and condition, I mean it would be kind of lights out anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a challenge. That's kind of taking a toll on me in terms of my mental health. But I'm speaking to her 10, 15 times a day. And actually, our conversations are much deeper than they are when we meet in person.
There's always a silver lining, isn't there?
Yeah. So that's quite nice as well. But the complex itself, the apartment complex I have is really sort of a really friendly environment. And like yesterday, I was going to do some panic buying, and my neighbor sent me a shopping list. We're kind of on that level now,
Yeah.
So it's really nice that we have this kind of community. To be stuck in, I think about the people that are stuck 6 family members in one room,
Wow.
and, I think that's a tedious and tiresome as well. But, what to do, I guess now's the time to get close to your family. And if get to know your wife, maybe your husband,
Yeah, or get to know your gecko. So, because
exactly.
the only pet I have here is a gecko that comes every so often to feed on my mosquitoes.
Yeah. The other day, with the anticipation of a lockdown, I adopted a puppy the other day because I figured I'm going to be alone for quite some time. So, yeah.
Dude, Annie, let me tell you, I'm so proud of you for the work that you're doing. I'm so proud of you for the self-awareness that you have. And, bro, I'm praying for your mom.
Thank you, Amani. Yeah, I really appreciate that. I know we've talked about that quite a bit in the past as well.
Yeah.
In fact, I think the first time we met, we talked about that. So, but yeah, thank you so much. And listen, man, thanks for making me a part of this. I'm so happy. I'm honored.
Dude, listen, I'm going to call you so many times. I have nothing to do. I just have, just this podcast to do. My work, I make more money when events happen, and we had to cancel Inside Man, the space that we were trying to create for the guys.
Sure.
So I really have no other way to express my creativity. So I'm just gonna call everyone, and if I call you 15...
Yeah, and listen, man, even if it's not podcast related, you need someone to talk to. I know that we struggle with some of the same things.
Yeah.
Just pick up the phone and give me a bell, man. I'd love to talk to you, and of course, I always enjoy our time together. We do have this mental health group for men that we're in the process of putting together. And funnily enough, it would have launched yesterday.
It would have launched yesterday. Imagine that.
Yeah, but we'll get there. We'll definitely get there.
Fareed Khimani, you're a good man. I pray that you keep safe. I pray that your mom's health holds through.
Thank you so much.
And dude, also if you need to call, if you need to talk, just holler at your boy.
I will for sure, man.
All right,
thank you so much, bro.
I appreciate it. Take care.
All right, have a good one.
All right, have a good one too. Well, it worked. I was able to have a conversation with Fareed. I want to know what you guys are doing. I'm going to do as many of these podcasts as possible, but I want to know what you guys are doing for, self-quarantining yourself. I want to know, ideas of what you can do to keep yourself busy. Well, I have books that I haven't read. I bought and haven't read, so I'm going to try and do some of that. I've been trying to binge watch some of the series that that I've been meaning to catch up with. Well, it is what it is, man. I hope you're staying safe. Please wash your hands. Please stay out of trouble. Please don't move unnecessarily. I've tried so hard not to do, dated content, because I feel like that content expires, but we cannot ignore the pandemic that we're in right now. And this might go on for a while. So, guys, stay safe. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and keep this podcast going. God bless you. And see you on the next one. I don't know when it is. Maybe it will be like in an hour. Maybe. Hopefully. Cheers and God bless.